The moment I realized not everyone knows what love feels like. I grew up in a group home with 17 other kids who all knew the difference between survival and comfort, but none of us really knew what love felt like. We shared shoes, we shared blankets, and we shared silence during dinner because there was never enough food to bother talking about it. I used to lie awake at night pretending a mom was tucking me in, saying something soft like sweet dreams, even though I had no memory of what a mom's voice was supposed to sound like. So when I turned 12 and a kid in my math class named Caleb invited me for a sleepover, I was so nervous I almost said no. I didn't even have pajamas, so I slept in jeans. But that night wasn't what stayed with me. What stayed with me was the next morning when sunlight came through the curtains and I heard his door creak open. It was his mom. She walked in, gently rubbing his shoulder, whispering, "Hey buddy, time to wake up." And I saw her smile, the kind of smile you give when you love someone just for existing. She said she was sorry. There wasn't much food in the kitchen, but maybe she could whip up pancakes. And I swear my entire body froze. I couldn't even remember what pancakes tasted like. I sat up slowly, my mouth already watering before I could even say yes. But then Caleb just groaned, pulled the blanket over his head and said, "No one wants your pancakes. Mom, just leave us alone." She laughed like she was used to it and asked if maybe your friend wants some. But he cut her off again and said, "No, we don't want anything. Just go." I was stunned. I sat there watching her walk away without arguing, without yelling, just walking away like she didn't want to make it worse. And I felt something boil in me. I stood up and asked him, "What the hell was wrong with you? Do you have any idea how lucky you are?" He rolled his eyes and told me to relax, but I couldn't. I told him there are kids like me who'd give anything for a mom who even remembers our names, let alone brings up pancakes. He tried to joke it off, but I was already putting on my shoes. He said he thought we were friends, and I said maybe we were, but I can't be around someone who doesn't even see the gift standing right in front of them. I walked out of his house still smelling syrup in the air, and I remember thinking that no one had ever loved me enough to make me breakfast, even when they had nothing. And yet here was a woman trying with everything she had just to be part of her son's life, and he didn't even look her in the eyes that day. I didn't just leave a sleepover. I left with a reminder that love doesn't always look like hugs or presents or even the perfect home. Sometimes love is just a tired mom with a bad fridge offering pancakes to a boy too blind to see she's everything he's ever needed.